But what they will not openly tell you is that right now, Kenya's economy is at the hands of the people in diaspora. And that's quite a sad statement to make when I say Kenya economy now relies more on exporting its own people than its own goods. We have facts to be able to back that.
And this is not Lynn just spitting words. No, she's speaking with evidence. In fact, the deputy president himself confirmed this.
Diaspora remittances now have overtaken the traditional tea, tourism, and so forth, and horticulture, which for the last 30-40 years have been the leading earners of foreign exchange for Kenya. So remittances now are scaling up.
This video from Lynn Ngugi really opened my eyes. I never saw Kenya in these lenses. And guys, as a country, Kenya is hanging on a thin cotton string, and that is dangerous. A lot of Kenyans were really pissed off when President Ruto, in a way that resembled someone who is bragging in front of thousands of Kenyans and congregants of Jesus Winners Ministry, promised to donate 20 million Kenyan shillings to a church and also pledged another 100 million on Harambee. That this church is, I don't know, maybe they are supposed to have somewhere in future. There's no problem with someone donating money to a church, but a president of a nation that has kids sitting on stones in schools, people drinking muddy water in northern and northeastern part of Kenya, and lack of medicine in hospitals. I mean, think of how many boreholes that 120 millions can dig for people in Turkana. That's an amount of money that can buy Linac machine to treat cancer patients in Kenya. All that money goes to a single church that can afford to buy a land worth more than 400 million. I mean, a church that clearly doesn't need this money. This is a church that now it is in a state of giving back to the society as per the teaching of Jesus Christ in the Bible, not doing the other way around. Okay, my bad if maybe I don't understand the Bible, but if I'm God, I will not let people give me money that I don't need, yet others are dying of starvation. Again, my bad, maybe Bible is not my thing. The big issue is that after the majestic proclamation, the next day, thousands of Kenyans, mostly the Gen Z, flocked to the church seeking for jobs. Why? Because the president hinted that he will send Alfred to that church to do his thing. And what exactly is his thing? Okay, Mutua is the CS of labor in Kenya, and lately he's been busy recruiting Kenyans to go to work in Saudi Arabia and other countries. And he's so serious about that. He even lectures Kenyans the primary school style.
Excuse me. Excuse me. Listen, Listen. Excuse me. Just listen to me, This is not a joke. We are dealing with people's lives. Kama uko na shida na anything we are doing in our process, toka peke yako uende. We owe you nothing, you owe us nothing. I want discipline. Nasikia? Kama una kelele hapa, I don't deal like that. Sawa? Nimesema I want a few examples of the people who have been given because I want to explain to you the process so that you understand. Sawa? So, kujeni hapa use your... There are jobs here where the agent will tell you the employer is providing for you the air ticket, is providing for you money for this, but is not providing for you your medical fees and maybe your visa fee. And this is the charge and this is my small commission. There are others, especially the European ones, they are telling you the employer is not providing you anything. The employer is providing you a job, lakini wewe ujipange na hiyo German classes, ujipange na hiyo air ticket ya 90,000, ujipange na hiyo medical yao inataka 60,000. So they'll tell you clearly. The agencies here now are working under my watch.
I mean, these Kenyans are desperate. They need jobs. So when an opportunity shows, they will have to appear. They are told it's free and that the government of Kenya only wants to help its citizens. They acquire the papers needed, but just before they are cleared, this happens.
Tulikuwa tumeambiwa ni free. Sasa hii kazi tumefika hapa tunaambiwa sijui nimepata kazi ya security nalipa 70k. Naambiwa nilipe 230k as a commission. Hiyo pesa natoa wapi? Sina kazi yoyote na tulikuwa tumeambiwa kazi hapa ni free. Chenye naweza sema kitu kingine ni tumeambiwa ukipata karatasi umepata kazi. Sasa kila mtu hapa tuko over 2000 people, kila mtu ako na karatasi. Sasa hiyo kazi umepata. Kitu kingine tunaenda hapo kwa interview, tunaambiwa hakuna document yote unapewa, unaambiwa tu andikisha tu jina na ni hivyo ushapata kazi. Hakuna interview unafanyiwa, ni jina tu na kazi ushapata. Sote naweza sema hii ni scam.
Faith Kamweru, nimetoka Nakuru. Mimi nikikuja hapa, mimi nilikuwa najua hizi job ni free. So tumefika hapa tunaambiwa ati lazima tukuje tena sijui tu apply loan. Loan ya nini? Si kama wanataka kutusaidia, watusaidie fully because ukiniambia mimi saizi nitoe 150,000 sitaweza, nitatoa wapi 150,000? Alafu hii loan wametuandikia bado. Kwa hizi salary unakuta kama mimi wameniandikia nalipwa 43,000. 43,000 nitamaliza siku gani kulipa hii 150? Nitamaliza siku gani? Hata mimi hata sijui niseme nini. Ati unakuta mwingine kwenda ati ni 400,000. 400,000 na nalipwa mshahara ya 45,000. Nitamaliza kulipa hii 400 lini? Some of us tuna struggle hadi kumaliza ile deni ya help. Hatujamaliza na still wametuongezea hizi vitu zingine wanataka tufanye. Kama wanataki kutusaidia, waseme hawataki, na kama wanataka watusaidie fully. Si kutuandikia hapa ati sijui mkuje, sijui.
By the way, I got this tape from the David Wafula YouTube video. And David did a very good job explaining how diabolical this is. Just listen to Wafula and you will understand the seriousness of this issue.
Yeah, where youths are being told there are jobs abroad, but processing fees are well over 200,000. I mean, if a youth can raise that amount of money, I would recommend to them to go start a business instead of paying processing fees for a job that you aren't even guaranteed, which doesn't make sense. How do you pay 400, 300,000 for a job that gives you 40k? That country you're going to work in, there is rent, there is food, there is electricity, there is water. Maybe you need to use transport to get to where you work and back. On top of that, you have a loan. In other words, you're going to be a slave. You'll be working for others. It is sad how they're handling these jobs abroad. If those youths can raise that money, I recommend they just start a business locally.
Are you seeing what I'm saying here? I mean, earning 40,000 per month, yet you took a loan of worth 400,000, not forgetting that you still have help to pay. This is a tactic to keep you as a slave. And the government has a very good reason for that. They really don't want you to quit, because that person who is working abroad, these diaspora guys, are the gold of Kenya. This is how. You know, in schools, you are taught that major sources of foreign exchange are maybe tourism, horticulture and coffee export, other export, foreign investments, services and trade, right? Well, not anymore, because diaspora remittances is all there is. I mean, if coffee, our goal, is contributing more than 3 times less in foreign exchange as compared to diaspora remittances, and tea is around 20 times less, then our industries are normal. Let this sink, okay? Diaspora remittances contribute more in our foreign exchange than the rest of the top 10 contributors of our foreign exchange. Yet our leaders are donating millions of money in Harambes, while others are buying expensive watches, red carpet shoes, and expensive belts. I heard Lynn say that if diaspora people stop sending money back in Kenya, then Kenya is normal. And that statement is understandable. And this government knows that. That is why it is selling its citizens to other countries. The government is so strict about this that they are making sure that the passports are processed within 2 days. While we are paying 1,000 shillings to replace national IDs and 2,000 shillings to apply IDs for the first times, and we wait for almost 2 months. In other words, the government would rather send you away to other countries than to keep you here in Kenya because you're needed to make some few individual richer. Okay, I know there is no need to stay in Kenya without jobs while there are jobs outside the country. That's totally okay. The thing is, these remittances, when they reach Kenya, you will hear some other donation being promised where they are totally not needed. You will hear about donations in churches that are richer more than most of our public schools and hospitals, politicians giving out money during campaigns, and people like Alfred Mutua spending millions to build Saudi homes in Kenya in order to train Kenyans on how to work effectively for their Saudi masters instead of using that money to create jobs in Kenya. You see politicians flashing out these expensive things that they bought with taxpayers' money. And on again, they will send more Kenyans to do their dirty work for them. Do you know how many workers die in the Middle East? Do you remember that Kenyan woman who took a video of herself breastfeeding puppies, dogs, by force? I mean, she was forced to do that. You remember a woman, I think her name was Mary, who was brought back in Kenya when dead after her boss burned her with an ironer because she accidentally burned her blouse. Do you remember all those things? Now, this is what these Kenyans go through just to earn some few coins in these countries, and the remittance that they bring in Kenya is carelessly spent. God will not forgive you for this, even if you donate money in these churches, because even those churches are corrupt. Your hands are full of blood, Kenyan's blood. I'm Karakemanji. Guest Tena.